We're back.
Wow. Yes.
I don't know why I feel like starting off these just a little silly.
Yeah. You've been in a silly, goofy mood.
Welcome back to the Mason Movement podcast. I'm B.
And I'm Jessy.
And today we're talking about sort of a dark topic, actually. The more that I feel on it and contemplate how self-sabotage has shown up in my own life, I feel like the darker of an energy that I pick up on, actually.
Yeah, I feel that.
Right?
I do. Yeah. Well, because, self-sabotage, I think it shows up when there's a lack of self-worth, self-love. At least that was my experience, the pattern around it of I didn't really value myself. So I would knowingly sometimes sabotage myself into situations because I just wasn't ready to love myself.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's definitely about like lack of self.
Why am I blurry?
I don't know. Okay, there you are. You're back.
Wow, talk about the darkness.
You were in the shadows. Your shadow self was coming out.
Okay.
For those of you that are not watching the video, Jess's whole body just sort of blurred while I stayed clear. So that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely about lack of self-worth, but also in that like lack of like self with a capital S. Like yeah, like when we're in self with the capital S, that's like our highest self. Like that's our most like integrated, embodied, confident, calm self.
Right.
And when you're in self-sabotage, of course, your highest self would not do that to you. So, you know, your ego could be self-sabotaging you, but also I feel like a lot of us get caught up in, and this kind of goes like to a different topic, but very much related, like entities, like other energies that we may not see with our visible eye feeding off of us or influencing us to do things that maybe our highest self definitely would not choose.
Right.
Because this universe is all energy, it's all vibration, it's all frequency, and 95% of our true reality we cannot see with our eyes. So, or not 95%, I'm sorry, 99%, 0.9999999.
Wow. That's a lot of nines.
And I didn't make that up. That's quantum physics, y'all.
Yeah. Well, now that you're saying that, entities and these things, when I was drinking, there was a lot of self-sabotage around that. Like I found myself being invited to like go party and do things that I actually like didn't really want to do, but I like put myself in that anyway and drank anyway and partied anyway and like felt like shit and then would like repeat that and repeat that and repeat that until enough was enough. And now I'm almost 2 years sober, baby.
Congrats.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that it just like poses a bigger question. Like, why do we do that? Why do you think we like self-sabotage?
Well, I mean, I think it's a number of different reasons, but I can speak for myself. Like, number one biggest thing for me was like, I historically have been afraid of my own power.
Ooh, that's good.
I know.
That's good.
I've meditated on that. I've had like a lot of insights come through. Like I didn't know it at the time. Like, oh, I'm afraid of my own power, so I'm going to go get wasted. Like, no, this has been like, years of doing like the inner work. But now I can see like I'm a very powerful being, just like everyone else on this planet, whether you're aware of it or not. And if you didn't know, now you know. But like I could feel that, I think, at times. Actually, no, I'm like thinking of a time specifically when I was like in the 6th or 7th grade and I had we were like doing speeches for like a class, like English language arts.
Right.
And some of us got chosen by our teacher to enter into like the speech contest, you know, that was like a bigger like platform. And I had given a great speech in front of my class, and I got feedback from my teacher. He was like, wow, I've been a, you know, teacher for however many years, and that was like the best. That was one of the best speeches I had ever heard. And I was like, oh shit, that just like added like another layer of kind of like pressure, but like really good feedback. But then I'm like, whoa, like I didn't know like I was that good. I didn't know I was that powerful. But like I could feel, you know, when I was in front of my class, like how good it felt and how like in alignment I was. And I was super captivating. Like, yeah, everyone, you know, there was like, you know how kids like, you know, will be distracted and do whatever. Like I really felt like I had the attention of the majority of the classmates. So like I knew I was good. But then I, you know, come the day of the actual like speech contest, I totally was afraid of like, whoa, what if I do this again? What if I do it even better? Like, can I even do it better? And then I sort of self-sabotaged myself, really got in my head and gave probably one of the worst speeches. Oh, no. I had to like stop midway through and like take a deep breath. Aww. I was shaking like it was like night and day. It was crazy. So I don't know if maybe it was self-sabotage. Yeah.
I could see that.
Right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I kind of like went with that. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Yeah, no, not sorry.
Not sorry. Not sorry. Yeah, I mean, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, that's why you were looking at me weird. I was like, wait, did I like say something weird?
I had something to say. It's gone. I've let it go, and hopefully it comes back to me.
Yeah, no, like I'm also thinking about, you know, self-sabotage. It's not just about like fear of your own power, but also like getting back to like those like negative forces in the universe that can totally like influence you, you know?
Yeah. And also like your thoughts, you know, I think it's easy to forget how powerful your thoughts and your mind really are. And getting into a space, you know, like there's also, you know, just like a lot of people have, you know, the fear of failure, which I feel like resonates with me. You know, I've always been afraid to fail at things.
Same.
And yeah, really having to practice, you know, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy and effort to reroute those negative thoughts into positive ones so you don't sabotage yourself.
Yeah, well, and just like something that's coming to my mind is actually none of our thoughts are like really our thoughts, you know, like we say my thoughts, but like really like there's so like we talk about like all this energy in the universe, like it's a real thing, like your thoughts are not your thoughts. Universal. There's like there's like consciousness, there's like a stream of thoughts, you know, happening every which way, and it's like what we choose to like focus our attention on, right? So like if we're focusing our attention on like all these like scary thoughts and negative thoughts and oh, I'm gonna fail, and what if I fail, this and that, and like, you know, we obviously manifest that, and then we like really hang on into and attach to like oh, these are my thoughts, like I'm doing all of this. So
well, something else that just kind of popped into my mind around self-sabotage, and I think you can speak to it, is just like scarcity mindsets and how you can really like sabotage yourself out of opportunities and like a flow of abundance, and like not just monetary, but abundance in all areas of your life. If you don't shift that scarcity mindset, recognize it first of all, you know, it's something that I think a lot of people have programmed in them.
Oh, so deep.
It goes so deep. It's generational.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about, okay, so we'll go with scarcity thoughts. Yeah, because that's like actually something that I'm working on, really like honing in on, focusing a lot of my energy on right now. yes, what you said, first recognizing, okay, like I have these thoughts that like are not the highest vibration, and I have these programs that I don't really want to align with anymore. So like, number one, recognize it. And then number two, like, yeah, how am I transmuting this? Because I can't destroy this energy and just kill it. Right. I'm an alchemist. I'm going to shift it into something that I actually want to align with, and something that I actually do want to believe in, because we can change our beliefs. Oh my God, that's so amazing.
Right. And I think to even go deeper with it is just like identifying, you know, you recognize it, you're transmuting it, but like going deeper to the root, like, why do I think this way? Where is this thought coming from? Like, what is this program? Like, where did I learn this first?
That can be so powerful for your healing journey.
Right. Like going back to like a child part of you, like maybe you experienced, you know, your parents in scarcity mode when you were younger, and like obviously that goes into your subconscious, and then you carry that with you into your adult life.
And then it can come out in ways that you don't even recognize. You have to just like kind of slowly, like I feel like, become like this warrior ninja with your thoughts, like, oh, what's that little piece, oh, that over there, like that feeling, like I'm just getting so much more detailed with like every thought, every like transaction with, okay, how am I releasing money, how am I receiving money, do I believe I'm worthy of money, you know, learning about these like 6 spiritual laws of wealth. Like, oh my God, it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, you can totally like set yourself up for failure if you continue to stay in those patterns and be like, okay, yeah, like I, you know, don't deserve this for whatever reason, or I can't buy that, it's too much, or I'll never make that amount of money because I just don't feel like I have anything, any talents that are worth that, you know, exchange. Then yeah, you can totally stay in those loops, and that's a form of self-sabotage.
Of course. And like all of this can be pretty overwhelming, you know, initially. I feel like when you first start recognizing and like you're more aware of your thoughts, like you said, kind of like catching it and tagging it and being like, okay, like let's look into that. And like, oh, here's another one. Is that even my thought? Like, oh, here's another thing. Like, you know, I need to dive into that a little bit deeper. I think you can also like self-sabotage, you know, not wanting to deal with all of these things that are coming in. I think the key is to just be patient with yourself, and it's just like one thing at a time, one day at a time, one thing at a time.
Yes, it can be very overwhelming to the point where we don't even want to deal with any of it.
Right. So what would you say to a person who is trying to, like, what's your number one piece of advice for somebody who recognizes that they have self-sabotaging tendencies and they want to transmute it? Like, what's the easiest way to like transmute these thoughts and these patterns?
Well, I don't know if it's super easy, actually. And I think it's more of like a repeated thing over time, because these programs and these like systems that we're talking about are really deeply rooted within our subconscious. And when we're shifting and rewiring our subconscious, that's not just like a one and done thing. That's repeated over time. Think about the scarcity programs that, you know, just the world has. We don't just learn that in a couple of days. That's years and years and years, you know, ingrained into our DNA. So give yourself the time and the space to rewire that, and know that it's going to take time, just like going to the gym. You don't
I was like, give them that.
Yeah.
Give them that. Yes.
Yeah. No, I love this analogy, because it's so true. You know, you don't just go one time and you're like ripped.
Right. It takes
time.
Yeah, it takes time and dedication and commitment to and showing up, you know, showing up
for yourself. And it's not all going to get done, you know, instantly, you know, quickly. So yeah, giving yourself that time to like rewire your subconscious, and finding a practice, an embodiment practice, a mindfulness practice, like whatever is calling to you. finding that and doing that, committing to that on a daily basis, and if you'd like to go deeper with an embodiment practice, I know of a couple actually that I practice every day that have totally shifted the trajectory of my life, allowed me to really experience quantum leaps like I never have before. It's like wild, because we're really working on the nervous system, and we're really working from the inside out. So it's not like we're like doing 100 things in a day and, trying to be so productive and okay, I'm going to manifest all of this. Like, no, like I'm going to work on this for what, like 10, 15 minutes a day, even sometimes. That's all it takes. And I'm going to watch my outer reality shift. And I really don't even have to do that much.
Right. Yes. So where can we direct anybody who's listening to go deeper and work with us?
We can direct them to our website.
Yes.
themasonmovement.com. That's where you'll find, just like a little bit more about us and our services and what we have to offer. We can definitely you can schedule like a free vibe check with us. You don't have to commit to anything. It's free, obviously. You can like let us know what's going on. We can inform you about like how we'd like to help. You can work with us together. We can do one-on-one. It's totally up to you. And we also have a platform. We're on a platform called School.
SKOOL.
Yeah. And that's a free membership as of now.
As of right now,
yeah. You're going to be getting like some freebies. We're going to be talking about all of this and more over time, but you want to get in now because for a limited time, it is free.
Yes. And side quest here.
Ooh, okay.
We have a funny story.
Oh, I forgot about this.
We have a funny story to share since we're on the topic of sabotage.
Mom, wait, hold on. Mom, just a disclaimer. Mom, if you're listening,
please don't.
Maybe just shut it off.
It's time to exit the podcast.
Fair warning, Mom.
Fair warning. My dearest brother-in-law, exit the chat. We have a funny story.
All right.
So, this was the second time that I had ever gone to visit B's family, now my family. And we were kind of contemplating this before we left. We were like, should we bring this? Should we not? Should we bring this? Should we not? And then she ended up throwing it in the suitcase last minute. And it was our vibrator.
I'm like, what are we talking about here? Tell the people.
It's our vibrator. And I didn't notice, but, you get to the airport, you're like getting your bags. And I was like, this suitcase kind of feels like it's vibrating. Like, this is weird. And then my mind went somewhere else because she like came around the corner with our coffee. And I was like, ooh, iced coffee. So I like totally forgot about it. We're loading up B's mom's car and put them in the trunk. And I still noticed, I was like, this one's like buzzing. I don't know what's going on. So we pull into the garage and Jake, my B's brother, my brother-in-law, comes out to help us get our bags. And we hear like something, the trunk is like buzzing, it's like vibrating and buzzing. And everybody's like at the trunk and they're like, what is that? What's going on?
What's that sound?
What's that sound?
What's wrong with your car, Mom?
Yeah.
Like we had no idea at this point. Like we weren't thinking about any of that at all.
Yeah. And we pull the suitcases out and I'm touching it and it dawns on me. And they're still, mind you, the suitcases are out and like the buzzing has stopped in the car. And their heads are in there and they're like, what's going on? And I look at B and I was like, oh my God, it's the vibrator. And I all of a sudden turned into an NFL linebacker and just picked this 50-pound suitcase up and ran up 2 flights of stairs with it once I realized, as fast as I could. They're still looking in the trunk. What's going on?
I told Jess, I was like, go.
She was like,
go.
So then I had to get upstairs as quickly as possible. I'm like ripping through the whole suitcase because I didn't know where she put it. Finally found it, turned it off just in the nick of time because I just knew it was a short period of time before my mother-in-law would be coming upstairs to assist with the suitcases and unpacking. And yeah.
Oh my God. This is one for the books, baby.
Oh yeah. That was, sorry.
That was hilarious.
It was so funny in the moment, and they had no idea, and we were like the only two that knew. And I feel like Jake was like, "All right, I'm walking away." I think he maybe knew, but maybe not.
Picked up on it, but yeah, never want to revisit that again with my family.
No,
unless they listen to this, and then, oops.
But I will be making a great Amazon review. Because I think that thing was on for like 8 hours straight.
Yeah, and it did not die.
It did not die. And it was rocking the trunk and the suitcase. So we'll just leave it at that. Thanks for listening to us.
On that note, see you next week.
Yeah, see you in the next episode.